Welcome to a very special edition of Bill Chasing the Movies. Last time I reviewed the 10 best films of the year. Now, be prepared for the 10 worst. I give the worst films of the year the final kick in the pants that they need never to be mentioned again unless I'm comparing them to other crappy films. Now here's a little disclaimer. Redundant franchises will not be included in this this special, which is why neither Saw 6, Final Destination 3D, or Dance Flick, which all deserve a place in this show, will not be talked about. Also, redundant, mean-spirited horror films will not be included, but I've chosen one representative. And redundant and awful and bloody stupid teen sex comedies, again, all bad, but I've chosen only one representative. Because let's face it, if I cluttered up the show with all those, the other genres wouldn't get a sort of kick in the pants that they need. So let's get right to it with the number 10 worst film of the year. And if the Oscars had a category for crushing the dreams and fantasies of every person of the age 25 and over, this film would win Best Picture, or worst, G.I. Joe. This was an uninspired, noisy mess with bad acting, bad action scenes, and plausible story that's just difficult to follow. Transformers may have been the same thing, but at least Transformers had a fun aspect to it. This was no fun at all. It took everything that made the original G.I. Joe story so special, so spectacular, so amazing, and turned it into a mess, an uninspired mess, with Channing Tatum, who has been decent in other films, with a Wayans brother, which, well, that's just spells disaster for your film right there if you have one of them in it. And of course, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is in my best film of the year, 500 Days of Summer. He looks lost here. He looked completely and utterly lost. You also want Dennis Quaid collecting a paycheck. Good for you, Dennis. I know your pension's coming up. And of course, you have Sienna Miller, best known for being the girl that Jude Law cheated on. She's never been a very good actor in my eyes. She's done any better here. This film could definitely use a slap chop. Stop having a boring film. Stop having a boring life. This was utterly ridiculous. I just don't understand how people can think mindless action films can be this good. Look, I'm the first one who's willing to turn off his mind and enjoy a good action film. That was Transformers. It's not G.I. Joe. They just took away from everything. At least Transformers still had aspects which made the original story special. Yes, it took a lot away, but there were also things that they kept in, little things that made it work. G.I. Joe just did not work on any level, in any way, and it's just an awful mess. Now, the number 9 worst film of the year, and girls, I apologize in advance, you're probably going to want to turn off the video right now, is The Twilight Saga: New Moon. Now, of course, I mentioned before, I liked the original Twilight film, okay? Y'all listening? Liked it. But this is just an overwrought, overacted piece of trash. I don't understand how Taylor Lautner and Robert Pattinson constantly taking their shirts off makes for great cinema. Yeah, okay, it makes the girls all go, ooh, it's the best film of all time. Well, how could people who go see movies, like Twilight, know nothing about movies? This is ridiculous. If you want to see Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner with their shirts off, go find a picture online, okay? Don't make me sit through 2 hours of a movie that cannot find the proper balance of overwrought emotion and subtleness. The first movie did a fantastic job of that. Kristen Stewart, who I thought was the balance of the film, was completely unbalanced here. The way she reacted to Edward leaving her was downright laughable. I'm not supposed to be laughing at this. I'm supposed to be intrigued, captivated, supposed to be like right into it. I was not into it. I was going like this the whole movie. I mean, granted the fact that I know why it appeals to the masses, but I even think you girls out there as Twilight fans deserve much better than this junk. Complete and utter junk is what this film was. Yes, I'm upset in case you haven't noticed by now. I mean, granted the fact that, you know, I know there are films out there that appeal to the masses that I won't enjoy as a film critic, but I just don't understand how I'm alone in this. I mean, I think you as Twilight fans deserve much better. I just don't see how this was enjoyable for anybody, Twilight fan or not. This is just a downright overwrought, overacted, underacted, complete and utter piece of trash. So, yeah.